What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reacting to another Kevin Samuels video. Before we get into it, make sure you guys like and subscribe.
Ms. Jones, go ahead.
Oh, hi, how are you?
Hi.
Um, so just to be honest, I hear everything that you're saying,
Mhm.
but what is the
Okay,
solution for
so
women
first
that
of
are
first of all, let's do this. How old are you?
I'm well, I turned 32.
Okay. Um, do you want to be married?
I do want to be married.
All right. So my question is, you're gonna ask me what's the solution. Why do
hmm
ladies always want to come ask me for a solution for them?
I think that it seems like you're coming off as the expert, so therefore we would like to know
Yeah,
your
and the
opinion.
solution. Okay, no. Well, honestly, you want the dead honest truth? Solutions cost money.
Okay. How
Want
much
solution?
money?
Well, go to my website and book a session like Bianca did. Because if you're good for something, if you're good at something, you don't do it for free.
I do
You don't give
understand that.
you don't do individualized sessions. And see, here's the solution is shed light on this problem so women don't get into this situation. That's the solution for the general audience. So let's take
Okay.
it this way. You're 32.
Yes,
What's your longest relationship?
4.5 years.
How long ago was that?
This past February.
February 2020?
Yeah.
Why didn't you guys get married?
He wanted to, but he simply uh will not mature. It lacks ambition, and we have too much
Do you have any children?
emotional history.
You have any
Yeah,
children?
we have one son. He is he
One
just turned
child
2.
turned
hmm
2. So you were having sex and reproduced the child with a man who's immature, and yet, and then you want to take that out onto the market and get someone to marry.
Well, I don't have a problem with getting people that are interested in me long term.
No. Understand? So
However,
listen,
yeah, I would like to
Listen,
get married.
my content is I don't see the whole dealing with. We keep score over here by marriages. Because
Okay.
yes, I know women don't have problems getting somebody to deal with them, date them, deal with them long term. It's marriage or not.
Okay.
And and what it
Well, I'm
comes
not
down
married,
to,
so I haven't been
what it comes down to is you were with somebody for 4 years that you said was immature, but yet you chose to be sexually active with them and chose to bring a child into the world. Why would a man want to have you as a wife and deal with an immature baby daddy?
Mm, Kev, starting off spicy. Now again, let me just go ahead and refresh your mind real quick. This is the woman that just called in and said, well, you seem like the expert. You think you know it all. Fix my problems. And Kevin was like, yo, listen, you're going to have to pay me. But you know what? Since you want to do this in public, I'll wear you out in public. And now look at where we get to. These are the decisions that this woman has chose, but want Kev to fix it right away. Like he's some magician. Come on.
Volunteer to be a stepfather for a child that's not an asset to him.
um somebody that meets me or my son would see value in me as a person.
Well, if
I know
that's
that
the if
you
that
I know
if
that
that's
you
the
wanted
no if
to
that's
talk about
no man,
that.
if that's the case, if somebody that meets you would see value, I'm asking you, so you should be able to tell me the value.
What's my value?
No. So what? See, you ladies like yourself like to do this. Like to do this. Well, when
No,
somebody
I'm trying to
meets me,
understand.
listen. Ladies like yourself would like to frame it this way: when you meet me, you'll see my value. Well, you have to be able to communicate that value too, because everyone can't meet you. And at
Right.
32 years old, you should know the value you bring to a man, especially if you expect him to
Absolutely.
be a stepfather to your child and deal with a man who's a child's father who's not mature.
Absolutely.
Do you
And
want to
I
have
do
more
know my
children?
value. I'm sorry?
Do you want to have more children?
I do. I want a big family.
Oh, how
As
many
many
kids
as
you
I
want to
can
have?
afford.
How many kids do you want to have?
I mean, as many as I can afford.
Okay, as many as you can afford. What do you do for a living?
I'm a realtor.
Okay. Uh, about how many kids would you like to have since you already have one?
I would like to have like four more.
Four more. So a family of five. What state?
I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. So what would a man need to make to fund a family of five children, a wife, and himself? So a family of seven. How much would a man need to make to provide for a middle class, upper middle class life?
I would think combined income maybe around 380
Excuse me?
in order for us to travel and everything else. The way
380
I like
in
to travel,
Atlanta?
the way I like to travel.
380? No, you're talking closer to five. Three children is about 350.
Okay.
I'm talking closer to five. And do you plan on, obviously, I guess you plan on working after you're pregnant?
I wouldn't mind working. I like working.
No, 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 no. Let me ask the question. Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant?
I don't necessarily want to have to, but I
Okay.
wouldn't mind.
So I need, no, 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 no. I just want to know what you want. And the first thing that came out of your mouth is you don't want to have to work and you want five kids. So even if you stair step these kids, if you start having children, that means you'd be out of work for at least 7, 8 years. What do you care if your husband's black, white, Hispanic, or other? You care if he's black?
It doesn't matter.
Is your child's father black?
He is black. Most of my exes are actually Asian.
Well, but you made a black child, so that's likely going to be who the next father is going to be because men tend to be pretty racial loyal and not wanting to have kids that don't look like them.
I understand that. And I would like for my son to have a black role model. I mean, his
Uh,
dad is out of state, but
so,
we have a
man, why would it? So this is the Rubik's cube you've given me. A woman who wants a man who's making
Mhm.
about the $500,000 a year, the money to be able to afford a wife and five children, one whom is not his own. That's what you would like. But yet, when you were younger, hotter, still in shape, and no children, you chose a guy who wouldn't even have a job.
Hmm? Doesn't have a job. I didn't say that.
You said he wouldn't keep a job.
No, I didn't say that. That's the wrong person. I didn't say that.
What did you
I
say?
said that he was a little. I said he was not maturing
I'm
and
sorry. You
being
said
as
he's
ambitious
immature.
as I.
He was
He
immature. I'm
wasn't
sorry. He
being
was
as
immature.
ambitious as I needed him
Okay,
to
he
be.
wasn't as ambitious, but okay. I'm sorry. Scratch that. He wasn't ambitious, but you still made a baby with him voluntarily. See, what you ladies don't seem to understand is you want to ask for more from the next guy than you did for the guy who got you when you were younger and hadn't had any children. And it's unreasonable. And what percentage of men in this country earn $500,000 or more?
As far as I know, I think it's about 8%. Or I'm sorry, 500,000, 1%.
Right. And I need you to be brutally honest with yourself. Are you a 1% kind of woman?
No, I'm not in the top 1% at all. But I didn't ask for that. You kind of gave me those numbers. I didn't
Well,
ask for
no,
that.
I asked you what you wanted. You said you wouldn't want to have to work and you want a big family. So whether you want to have $500,000 guy, what we do know is a $50,000 a year guy, which is middle of the road, won't do for a family of five. That's what we do know.
So my question is, I mean, we
So
listening to your channel,
go ahead.
we are always told that single moms are pretty much dead and done, and here we're talking about age, and now I'm at the older or the
Mhm.
elder part of my age range. And so it's more so like, okay, what is it that you think we should be doing, not as a single mother, but just as an older woman to
Well,
secure a marriage, not
okay. Well,
necessarily
okay. I'll answer your
60
question.
years.
I'll answer your
Okay.
question.
Okay.
And by the way, how tall are you?
I'm 5'2",
Dress size?
6.
Okay. What women should do is marry before they have a child. Because this is what happens. You are too old, too many miles to be demanding high prices. What women in your position should do is be fortunate to lower your expectations down to your level. A man that's on your level and your
But I didn't give
income,
you a level.
excuse me?
I didn't give you a level. You kind of created the level. I never told you a level.
Well, I would tell you, okay, what would you, okay, let's do this. You're dress size 6. Where would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10?
I guess I would be in that 6 range that you talk
Right.
about.
And your level would be a man making about $50,000 or $60,000. That's your level. I don't need you to give me a level. That's your level. That's who your. I mean, did your child's father make more than that?
He was making 80.
All right, but he was immature.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to your level. You can't get higher than your level, and you want. So the reality is, so what would I tell a woman like yourself? Ma'am, you're too old to be wanting 5 kids. You're lucky if you find a guy who's willing to marry you and be a stepfather to a child, period. Because being a stepfather, which I have been one, is a thankless job. Much less to a stepfather to a guy that, by your own admission, is not the caliber of a man you even wanted to marry. So I have to deal with a child and this guy, and it's a son. You have a son?
Yes, I do.
Right.
And he's with his dad half the time, and he's with me half the time. So his dad is
And this is why women should marry your child's father, and don't make babies with a man you're not going to be with for the rest of your life.
Like, is that so hard to follow? Is that like so mind-boggling? Is that rocket science for these women? Which is honestly just crazy to me. This Kevin is just putting it perfectly. This woman is crazy. She honestly wants a better deal than what she had before. Having an immature baby daddy. That she won't marry him, but she wants the next man to do better and to marry her. Come on.
Really, that's the answer. Because anything after this is trying to make the best of a bad situation. And I know it's not popular. And I know people don't like the way it sounds. But the older you get, the more women tend to want. You tend to want men who are earning more, doing more, to be able to provide more because your standards are higher because of lived experience. But your value is lower. You cannot get more in the main. Yes, there are women out there who can do it like Sierra and all these other kind of stuff. But in the main, the majority of women cannot. And the problem is, most of you ladies look at your chances on the market as far too high. I mean, would you marry a man who's making $45,000 a year? Why is this big pause?
I mean, close to it, sure. If he had ambition.
No. See, there's always an add-on when I ask these questions. I said making $45,000 a year. He's happy making $45,000 a year. He's gonna make $45,000 a year. He's not trying to be president. Excuse me?
No, I couldn't be satisfied with that type of complacency.
Then you screwed yourself. Listen to what listen. This is what the video I'm about to upload, and this happens over and over. Every time I ask, the average black man is single. 51% of black men are single and childless. 64% are in the middle class. The average black man in this country earns $42,000 a year, $41,000 a year. And the average white man earns $52,000. There's an $11,000 difference between black and white men. So most men earn around $50,000. And what you just said is fully half of the country of men of all races are insufficient to a woman who's older with a child. That's insane.
I'm okay with $50,000 if he has desires to make
more. No, you're still, and this is in
Okay,
womanese,
right.
and womanese. What this means is I can get him to make more. That's womanese. What she's saying is, I will take it as a starting point, but I'm going to continue to push you to try to become more. And no, ma'am, most people cannot make more. That's the median income. And this is the you asked for a solution. I said the solution is to lower your expectations down to reality because so many of you ladies are just insane with this. Why do you need, if half of the men in the country are earning that, why do you feel like you need more and you're bringing somebody else's kid to him?
I just, I invest in things and I
Well,
just would like to
congratulations, but you don't have a
my
husband. So it doesn't
investment
matter.
process.
You don't have a husband and you don't have any prospects for a husband on this level. You guys can talk a good game, but at the end of the day, men choose. And I understand this is a hard thing for you ladies to get, but ma'am, this is insane. Me, 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 me. And what you have yet to say is what you're going to even bring to the table to provide for that man who'd be willing to marry you and be a stepfather. It's all you, 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 you. You, 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 you. That's not a wife.
I don't think I said anything about myself or any of
Okay.
that.
The tape is here,
But
man. No, you talked about everything has been about what you want. Why you want? Why do you want this? Why I invest? I do this. What is he going to get from you?
he will get love, peace, a helpmate. He'll get someone that is genuine and sincere, someone that is going to make his day much easier. I do a lot for a man. Most men
Mm-hmm.
that I date value me.
Okay.
All,
Well.
all
Hold on.
my exes have,
Hold on. Did your child's father get that?
yes, he did. He got a lot more than that.
And he earned more than the guys I'm talking about, but yet he wasn't good enough for you to marry, but you still made a baby with him.
He had other things going on.
Well, you still made a baby with him.
That wasn't intentional, but yes, I did.
Man, see, this is another issue, especially in our community. Making a baby is much less of a big deal than being a wife. Women that's
I didn't say
insane
that.
too. And I said in our community. I didn't say you.
Okay.
But and I'm gonna tell you, everything that you just described is very vague. But I will just say this: there are women who are providing what you're providing and more, and they're younger, no children. How do you beat that?
I can't beat no children at all.
Exactly. So
I'm not asking
if the
I'm
men that you're looking, the kind of man you're looking for, other women are looking for him too, and it's a competition. And when all those men are chosen, Prince Charming is sitting across from you making $45,000 a year, content. That's Prince Charming, baby.
I don't really know too many men that make that.
Well, we
I
know
mean,
you're, but the thing is, you
I
can
know
talk.
that I know
Okay,
that they
I'm
do.
out of here. Okay, again,
I know that they do, but we are in Atlanta.
I know where we are, and it's 17 woman to one. There's a lot of y'all unmarried women here who talk to each other and act like the stuff y'all say matters. When I look on all these black women's ring finger down here, and it's
I understand.
what are your marital prospects?
I have a few guys that are interested.
In marrying you?
There's two.
Really?
However, I will say they are so much older than me. Although they do make over 6 years, they are so
See,
much older than
listen
me.
to listen to how picky we are getting. You
They're
got
like
two.
50. I can't.
Excuse me?
I want more kids, and they don't want any more kids.
Well,
They just want to take care of me and my son, and I don't. I want to.
this
I want
this
more
is
kids.
why I'm sorry, man, but I got news for you. You only have a limited amount of options and a
Not only a limited amount of options, she's lying right now.
limited amount of time. You cannot choose. You do not get to choose like you did when you were 23 at 32 with a baby.
I understand.
I don't think so, but I
I
don't think
understand.
they. I don't think they really get it. What it's starting to dawn on me is a lot of women just really truly believe y'all are higher rank than y'all really are.
I just realized that I didn't say that at all, but you do say that a lot in your videos.
Yeah, and you've just proved it. A man who's making
Because
$80,000 is a black man who's doing that's in the top 15% of earners, but he wasn't good enough to marry, but he was good enough to reproduce with. Make that make sense. Insane. So this is the danger. When you keep telling women that it's okay, and don't worry about looks and this and that. Don't worry about those things that the men say they value. Value your inner peace and your this and that. The men get to pick, and the men know what they want, and this is what they're saying. That's why you have thousands and thousands of people coming over here day in, day out, week in, week out. Let's go ahead and let them in. Hi, your first name is Faith.
Yes,
How old are you?
I'll be 30 next month.
Okay, what do you got for me?
Well, I'm a single mom, and I think that it's okay with wanting a high value man. Like, I think
You
it's
didn't.
okay.
You said you think it's what?
It's okay for me to I'm about to start dating again, and I think that that's what I would like to date, and I think it's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, were you married?
Yeah,
How long?
4 years.
Okay. And was your husband a high value man?
He was working his way up to one, but no.
Okay. What does that mean?
He was starting businesses. He was a military man, and
Okay.
he was, getting off his feet.
All
So,
right. How many children do you have?
too,
All right. So to the market, what you're basically saying is, hey, the man I married and had 2 children was not high value. But now I'm coming to the market, divorced, older, with 2 children, wanting a man who was financially better than the one I had 2 kids for.
yeah. I know it sounds bad, but at the
It
same
sounds
time, it's like,
it sounds exactly like what it is. I don't fault you for wanting
What?
what you want, but the question always comes back, Faith, why should a high value man pick you versus picking why should a high value man pick you versus picking a woman he can make his own children with?
This is just so crazy. And she just confidently, very, very confidently says, yeah, I know it sounds crazy. I know I'm being delusional right now in trying to request this, but you know what? Let me just go ahead and put it out there because I'm special. I guarantee you she's about to get into a reason why how she is so special and the reason why she needs to be picked. Probably because of how amazing she is, just because it's her.
that's true. I agree. Because when I had kids, I didn't want a man with kids also. So I agree. However, I'm just saying, I think that if I think that I could get a high value man possibly just because I have kids. It's not going to make it like, oh my gosh, she has kids. And I was going to ask
Really?
you a question.
Hold on. What city or what state are you in?
Alabama.
Oh, one of the poorest states in the union. You just think you can get a high value man. Do you know any high value men?
Yes, that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you a question. This guy, he's talking to me. He's a high value man, and I was just trying to figure out, like, does he really like me, or is he just like probably wanting a booty call because he's
Probably
high
number two.
value? But
Probably number two. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Probably
okay,
number
because he
two. I
has no
mean,
kids, and I'm just trying to figure out, like,
he
okay,
has children.
no, he doesn't have any children.
Right, man. I mean, all right. So let's
Because it looks
fast.
like he really
Hold on.
likes
Listen,
me.
listen, 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 listen. Do you have a son or a daughter? Do you have a son?
I have two boys, a 1 and
Okay,
a
so
2 year old.
Let's fast forward 35 years. And your oldest son is an accomplished attorney making $400,000 a year. And you've had to work with your ex to put your son through, University of Alabama, through Harvard, through junior law, all that stuff. And he comes home and says, "Mama, I'm getting married to a woman, a woman with two kids." You gonna say, "All right, son, I worked all my life for you to go do that." Yes, let's go
I
get
wouldn't
it.
be happy at first. However, if
What?
she was,
No. See, now stop right there. See, stop right there. Why wouldn't you be happy at first?
because I'll be like, you can start your own family. However, if that's what
Let's
you
keep
want,
going.
if
Let's
you
keep
want to
no,
be
no, no. Let's
stepdaddy,
not go down to however. Let's keep on that path. You can start your own family because
that'll be the right thing to do. That's what I
not the
plan
right
to.
thing, the
That's,
better thing, because you didn't raise your son and go through all that for him to take over some other person's bills.
yeah, that's true.
Welcome to you.
All right.
I'm
Thanks.
sorry, man, but that's the truth. Are your children an
I see what
asset
you're
to,
saying, but it's
but
like
but you still keep the
I see what
but.
you're
Are
saying,
your
but it's just
children,
like, okay,
listen, are your children an asset to another man?
they can be.
I didn't ask if they can. How can they be?
Some guys just want to be stepdaddy.
No. Tell.
What? Guys, everyone watching this video right now, do you want to be a stepdad? Like, is this something you're aspiring to do? You just want to wake up one day and just become a stepdad, according to this woman's logic. I need to know, because I think your first instinct is to at least have your own children if you can, right?
Tell me how they can be an asset.
Can't tell you nothing right now. Can't think of anything. So you got me. You're right.
If bottom line, man, you married a military guy. Why are y'all divorcing?
He was cheating, and we can't
Okay.
work it out because he's a narcissist. So
Okay,
it's just not
hold on.
working out.
Narcissist, has he had a clinical designation of narcissist? Or are you just saying that?
Clinical medication. Something's going on.
Narcissists lack empathy. Okay, so a narcissist is a narcissist. He's been around children, so he has no. Okay, all right. I'm gonna say this, man. This whole high value thing has a lot of you ladies in a bad position. Man, you're in Alabama. You're a divorcee with two kids, and you want one. Do you care if he's black? The man is black,
I would prefer him to be black. Yes.
and that means you want 8% of black men. 8%. 8% of black men earn over $100,000, and they don't really tend to live in Alabama. That's 8%, regardless as to the age. 8%, regardless as to their current marital status. 8%, regardless as to sexual orientation. And you didn't make babies with an 8% man. You made babies with a guy in the middle. Please explain to me why you want a guy who's so high up now. That's what I really want to understand.
I feel there's nothing wrong with wanting a stepdaddy with high value. Like, it's okay for me wanting my kids to go to private school. Like,
really?
If that makes, yeah.
No,
like,
no,
I think
tell me why. Tell me why it's okay.
Because if I find a guy and he's high value and he's okay with, I just don't see how it's like, oh, she got kids. Oh, I understand it is like more options out there, but it's just like, it's possible.
Really? So you don't see any problem, you don't see any issue with wanting your kids to go to private school. that you cannot afford to pay for and your husband can't afford to pay for?
No, like if that's
You know,
what because I'm
and
about to
see,
start
I'm gonna tell
dating
you,
again, and that's what
I'm gonna
I'm
tell you,
looking
and I'm gonna tell
for.
you this. That's one of the issues in our community, that a woman like yourself could honestly come up and say, I don't see any problem getting somebody who had nothing to do with this to pay for the bill. That's that welfare state mentality.
No,
That's
it's
that.
not. I think that that's.
Listen. I'm not insulting you, man, but listen.
I'm
You
listening.
can't afford it. Your husband can't afford it. That means you don't get it. The only way you could get your kids in private school is to find somebody else who's willing to put your kids in private school. You want your kids in private school? Get a nanny, get a tutor, work with them to get them a scholarship. That's what you're supposed to do. Go get a second job. Go. Don't go get your
And
hair
that's
done.
another thing.
Listen,
Like I'm a stay-at-home
listen.
mom, and I was
Okay,
okay.
ma'am, in this
Yeah.
life, we get what we work, what we earn and worth. You want somebody else to pay your bills. That is unfair. It is selfish
How?
because you don't have the money. And
I
you
do
said,
have.
but
I do
not,
have,
you
and
can't
that's
afford
another
to put
thing.
your
My
kid. Oh,
family
Jesus.
comes from money.
Okay, let me go ahead and grab this mute button because you said if somebody wants to come along and put your kids in private school, but you can't afford to put your kids in private school.
That's what you said. I didn't say that I can't
You
afford.
But you said if somebody wants to come along and put your kids in private school, by implication, meaning they're going to be paying for it, not you. I'm not trying to play
That's
semantic
true.
games.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is yeah, they'll be paying
Exactly.
for it if they're my husband.
No, they're not your husband. They'll be your
If
step.
they were.
All right.
Yeah, she's just very, very weird. And what's also funny about this is she really sat there and said, how is it selfish if I put all of that on another man to pay for it? How is it selfish of me? That's crazy. You want a guy making more, a better man, essentially. You want a better man, and then you want him to cover everything. And what is he going to get? She still hasn't named. But then how is this selfish, you ask? She will sit there and ask. It's crazy.
So, in other words, guys, pay attention. These are the women you need to pay attention to. These are the women that really don't care about you. Because you said it, ma'am, if it were your sons, you would want him to go start his own family. But you're
And
so
see, I don't like how you.
But I don't care, man. The way the words came out, the way you said, if they were your sons, you would want them to start their own families.
Yes.
But for you,
But I
it's
also
all
said
right
if
for
they do want to be stepdaddy, they can be. So
that's
both
not
of
the
them is
point. I didn't
cool.
ask. I didn't ask. Nope.
Sure.
Again, pay attention to what's going on here. It's because of her. It's not because it's what's right.
No,
It's
you
not
ain't about
because
to
of
do me
what's
like
right or
this.
what's best.
No, because no, you're trying to flip it.
I'm not flipping shit. I'm saying exactly what you're saying. It's not because of what's right or what's best. It's because of it's you. That's what it is. It's because of it's her. Think about what she's saying. I would want my sons to get the best possible, but I want you to pay for it. And that's fine, but what is he going to get for that? Me? And this is the mentality that guys are listening to, ladies, and saying, do y'all give a damn about it talk about narcissist? Did that woman sound like she cared about a man? Let's get to the next one. I don't want to
Hi.
see any more broken home. Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me better now?
I can. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
So your name is Dakota?
Yes.
Are you north or are you south? Which one are you?
That's good. That's funny. I've never heard that joke before,
Of
but
course you
I would
haven't.
say
So
I would
how
say
many kids do you have?
I have two.
Were you married?
I was.
Okay. And how long are you divorced?
I am.
How long you been divorced?
4 years.
Okay. So what's your question?
My question was I just wondered if it would just be better for me just to simply wait until my daughters were older
Well,
to date.
Well,
And just to explore because I have dated, and interestingly enough, the 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 men that I've met, they're usually older,
mm-hmm,
they're stable,
mm-hmm.
they have, some of them have lived at least two lives,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fine because I'm 40, so that's to be
You're
expected.
how old?
I'm 40,
How old is your youngest daughter?
9,
How old is your oldest daughter?
12.
See, here's the issue with.
Yeah. So what I was gonna, are you done
Well, I
talking?
mean, if you met a guy that you were fond of and he was fond of you, where's their father?
Oh, he's in their life. He's
But would he
he.
want some? Would you or him be all right with a man in the house with two teenage girls in development?
I haven't had a conversation with him about that
Your
specifically.
ex-husband?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him specifically about that because I haven't
But what do you think
gotten.
he would say?
I don't know actually, to be honest. I
Okay.
don't know. He has somewhat of a passive personality.
Right. Is he very protective of his daughters?
No. Well, you know what? I don't know yet because I haven't really seen him seen had a situation where he had to be.
Well,
Wait, what? So what? He has to get into what, some physical altercation for you to know that he's protective of his daughters? How about just simple gestures like, maybe she shouldn't be doing that, or, maybe you need to think about this, or, she shouldn't go down this road or this route. Her life should be. These are signs of protection, avoidance, you know? That at least that's what I'm thinking, to negate certain things, to cover that's protection, right? So before she could even go ahead and try to give this man any type of credit, immediately she started off with no, and then proceeded to say, well, I don't know. But as you can see right away, just ready to discredit.
They're still very
are you guys
young.
co-parenting successfully?
Yes.
How often do you interact with him?
Um, a couple of times a week. That's how often he gets them.
When's the last time you guys actually, you know,
Probably back in I don't know, 2013, years ago.
there's the last time. That's the last time you had him.
These
That's,
The
nuts.
last time I've spent with him, yes.
that's the last
Got
time.
him.
That's the last time you got these. Really, 2013.
2013,
Seven
14.
seven years ago was the last time you scratched that itch.
Probably more like 6. I would say 2014 because that was the end. So
So, and who have you been seeing since then?
I've just dated, but I think I've been
Okay, ma'am, you're
I think
40. 6 years ago was 34. Woman's sexual prime is 35. Come on now.
what's your question again?
Who are you hooking up with?
Oh man. So let's get this straight. She proceeds to answer a question in which she doesn't understand. But she got it. She understood it very well. Listen, she's trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm just dating. Listen, we know what dating means. We're not foolish.
Who?
Because if it wasn't your ex-husband, that's okay.
Mhm.
But you haven't had any long-term relationships. You've been
No,
in
because
but in your sexual prime. Look, I, I've had my fair share of experiences. And come on, sis. That's all I'm trying to understand is. What I'm trying to understand is how close you guys are and how realistic you're willing to be. If you're saying you haven't hooked up with him for 6 years, okay. But you say you see him every couple of weeks.
I see him every few days. That's how often he gets his
Every
kids.
few days. Does he have a wife
Mhm.
or a girlfriend?
No.
All right. So, um, it is. Are you guys still attracted to one another?
I am not attracted to him.
Has he changed physically?
As in how he looks?
Yes.
I mean, he's cut his hair and
Okay.
everything.
Okay. So we
But
keep on moving. We keep on moving, and the net of it is this: a man that involved with his daughters has a comfortable relationship with his ex-wife, and he knows that you have not had a history of being out there on the wild side with
well,
me.
he knows I date. But
Date
I mean,
date
I
is
don't.
one thing, but nobody staying over.
Oh, no. I have daughters here. Absolutely
That's
not.
what
No.
I'm getting. That's what I'm saying. Your ex-husband knows that you aren't gonna have men in the house with his daughters.
No, absolutely not.
But that would change, and that question is, how would he react if he felt like that was going to start happening?
You know, he might actually feel some kind of way about
Of
that.
course he would.
And why? Because he's what? Protective. He's protective of his daughters. You know, the same thing that she said no to at the beginning and then said that she didn't know.
You are right.
So this is why I often say to women, why did you guys get divorced?
Over money. He doesn't keep a job. So it became very difficult financially. I'm talking foreclosure, bankruptcy, all that type of stuff, you name it. So it was just
Oh,
difficult.
okay. Okay. So he doesn't keep a job. All right. But he's active in his daughter's life, even post divorce.
Yes.
So are you living at your means now?
I'm sorry, say that
Are
question
you living
again.
at your means now?
At my means, as in if I can afford my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been foreclosed or anything like that post divorce?
No.
Then do you make room for the possibility that maybe you guys are living outside of your means? Because the picture you've painted is of a man who, after divorce, is around every couple of days. That is a hell of a consistent man after a divorce of how many years? 4?
Yeah.
Right. And he's over there 3 times a week. 52 weeks out of a year, he's over there almost as much, more than a lot of. Come on, man. You divorced him over money. That's a petty thing to divorce over.
Well, he doesn't work.
Oh,
Am I
okay.
supposed to take
Okay.
care of
Okay.
him?
So you're basically saying the measure of your man is money.
The measure of my man is, can he provide for his family?
Well, okay. Now, when you got married, did you tell him you expected him to pay all the bills? Did y'all have that conversation?
I never told him I expected him to pay.
Oh, okay.
I didn't tell him that.
But he's a good father. Yes or no?
He's a good father. Yes, he
Okay,
does
well,
what
okay. So
with his
I gotta
children.
ask you, Miss Dakota, what's more important for your daughters?
You mean
What's
their
more important
relationship,
for your daughters, a paycheck or a good father?
them having a roof over their head?
Oh no, you got the roof covered.
Oh, so I'm supposed to take care of the children and a grown man.
Oh well, see
Okay.
that. See.
Okay.
Here's the thing. See,
Okay.
okay, no, don't get an
That's
attitude
fair.
with me. Well, what I'm saying is you're doing it already and you ain't got no man.
Well, I'm not taking care of a man. I
And
take
Wow. Could you believe? Listen. All right. You know what? If you want to concede her a point, no woman is gonna want to have to. Listen again. No woman is gonna want to have to take care of a man. But now I gotta lean towards the other side. If this is a man you decided that you wanted to have children with, you decided that you were going to marry, you couldn't even gracefully give this man the ability to find his way? Again, this is someone who took vows. And this is why a lot of men do not want to find themselves in these situations. Because I guarantee you, this guy was no bum. He probably was providing a lot until he couldn't anymore. And then all of that history just gets simply wiped away. And then now it's, what have you done for me lately? Because here's the thing, she has a roof over her head. And I'm pretty sure the man has a roof over his head because he still sees the daughters and he's still active. So he has somewhere to stay and be. But if it just came to the slightest inkling that she would have to take care of this man, she was willing to break up the whole entire family and to keep it separate than to help this man in any way, shape or form. Nice. Take notes.
care.
you gotta no see those vows you took didn't say you can leave because of money issues. See, we got too many of our sisters that treat black men as though, if you ain't paying all the bills. That's why I start putting that question out there, letting black men know, you better understand that black women will never come out and say it, but they expect you to pay everything. And if you don't, they'll leave you. Doesn't matter how good of a man you are, how good of a father you are, they will leave. Now, the funny thing is, you basically painting the picture of a man who has damn good character, but you throw him away because he ain't paying no bills. But the funny thing is, are you working any less hard than you would be if he was there?
Am I working
Are
any
you
less
working
hard?
yeah. If he was there, would you still have to do what you're doing? You still have to go to work.
Yes.
All right.
I,
So him
I,
not being there is not a net gain for you. It's a
okay.
loss. You don't have a man in the house or any help.
Okay.
Uh, You're a grown woman, right? I mean, let's be honest.
I
You
am.
still are working, paying, but you are saying it like, I'm supposed to take care of a grown man. Well, would you rather? So a man is nothing but a check. He's
It's
supposed to
not
pay the
about.
bills, ma'am. It sounds like it or not. I get what you want, but what you got is what you got. You married the man. You got kids. He's a good father, but you prioritize money, so you divorced him over money. And here's the net. Why is all this coming to? Why is it going to come to bear? When you talk about dating and people start getting into your history with your ex, and this comes out, when this comes out, the guys who are worth a damn, they're gonna be like, oh, no, 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 no. They're gonna be like, nah, this woman left her husband because of money. So that's cool. Did you gain any weight in the marriage? So,
No.
and that's the thing. And as long as you're cool with being judged that way, because let's say if you were to go off and get married or find somebody, he could. I hope you're all right with being left the same way because of a younger woman gaining weight or whatever. But you haven't said the man's a bad man. But I get it. I'm not telling you to take care of a grown man, but I'm telling you right now, you don't sound like you're doing nothing else. It sounds like you were better off married. Something in your ego wouldn't allow you to take care of no grown man. I feel you.
Mm,
I hear
okay.
you. But
Yeah.
but I gotta ask you, Dakota, were your daughters happier with daddy in the house?
They're
Whoa.
always happy. I mean,
Wow.
No, ma'am. That is
there
a
has
disingenuous answer. See, we were doing good until you did that.
what did I do?
I asked you a direct questions. Were your daughter happier with daddy in the house?
Yes.
Trifling. Trifling. Trifling and selfish. This is wild. This is just insane. Again, breaking up a home, a happy home at that. And look, again, she's doing it regardless.
And you would not give that man credit. You deflected. See, that's so petty. That wasn't about your daughters. That was all about you.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Um, so do you think that in a marriage, so you know how you were getting ready to ask me if I gained weight or, whatever other questions you were going to ask me. Um, I'm just trying to get my words right.
No, you are. You're just trying to come up with an excuse to, you know, get some type of approval for your bad behavior.
So I guess because there's a part of me that does feel like, okay, because when it comes to a woman, a wife, if she gets to changing and she gains weight, or if there's not enough sex and things after the children, if anything in her mood changes after she becomes a mother, if she changes in any way for the worse, and then he makes a choice to step out or leave or not do anything, I mean, is that okay? Because sometimes I feel like if a man changes and he's not on top of his responsibility, I feel like, particularly as a Black woman, that we're supposed to just normalize the dysfunction and just kind of go with it, even if you're in jeopardy of losing your home, or
Is this a question?
I mean,
No, see what I allowed you to do, ma'am, is I allowed you to talk it all out, and you're starting to have a moral conflict with your own argument.
you think so?
Oh yeah. I'm good at what I
Okay.
do.
Okay.
I'm good at what I do. I let you get it all out because what you're having to say. Well, see what you couldn't say is none of that happened. You're giving me a hypothetical, and I'm going to ask.
Well,
No, I'll let you.
I didn't
Hold
say
on,
that
ma'am.
was.
I'll let you speak for 2 minutes, uninterrupted.
Oh, okay.
None of that happened in your relationship. So
Okay.
hypotheticals don't matter to your individual situation. Let's just put it on the wood.
Okay.
Your ego cannot handle a man who's not paying the bills. That's it. So for
I haven't
that, you broke
heard
your.
all of it.
No, I'm still going. That's it. It's not about character. It's not about family. It's not about the children's happiness. It's about your ego not being able to accept the fact that this man is under earning. That's it. It's not as though you said this man was a lazy, good for nothing, shiftless dude sitting here playing Madden all day. He's an active, good father. There are women. Come back and look at the chat room and see what women are saying. I'm not looking, but I can pretty well guess what the women who watch this platform are saying. Oh my God, sis. Basically, you have put money, and I'm going to say this: you ain't rich. It's a very petty thing you divorced for, and see that's what this whole COVID pandemic thing has kind of helped Black people realize that all this shit that so many of our sisters people have valued, can be taken like that, and all you got is family. All you got is each other. And what you're looking at is a man that you divorced over money, who's still doing what he should be doing. See, if he would have, you divorced him over money and he just said, fuck it, I'm not going to do anything, then you'd have had a case. I divorced him over money and he ain't done nothing for his daughters. Now, no, he's still over here two, three times a week. He's active as ever.
When you say active, can you define active?
I'm defining what you said.
No, what do you think active means?
Active is you have sole physical custody, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he has every other weekend. That's what he has. So being over there every other day is outside of his custody arrangement. It's helping you. He only gets every other weekend. But he is extremely active according to the law. You are getting, if you need to do anything, all you gotta do is pick up a phone and say, "Hey, dude, come over here," and he's there like that because he's still in his daughter's lives. Ma'am, this was I would tell you this: good luck trying to date any man with any character and telling this story. It doesn't sound really good, ma'am. You divorced him over petty money reasons.
You think it's petty?
Yes, I do, because, ma'am, your ass is still getting up having to work. All you don't have is a man.
Okay. Well, I would like a man who works. So.
Well, good. What would your daughters like?
Okay.
What would your daughters like?
They would like a father.
No, they would like they would like, no, don't get, that's bullshit. See, now you want to go there. That's little. They want their father.
Exactly.
They want their father. And they would like their mother not to have divorced their father over petty freaking reasons.
But here's the thing, though. Do you think that as they get older, that they're
what I think is going to happen is they get older, they're going to resent the hell out of you. They're going to resent. You want to hear? I think they're going to resent the absolute fuck out of you because their father is showing up on Tuesday and Thursday. He's there monthly. He's doing the hard work. See, many women complain of high value men of just being a check and not being there. You got the whole goddamn man even afterwards, and you're too fucking blind to see it. You took their father out of the household for a little bit of money, for a little bit of money, for a little bit of money. You're not rich for a little bit of money, and you didn't discuss this up front, ma'am. You didn't go into it saying, "Hey, man, I need you to carry all the bills. You need to pay all this stuff." You did this afterwards. Good for you. Get the fuck off my phone. I cannot stand women like you. You're showing your colors tonight, ladies. You're showing your colors tonight. You're showing your colors tonight. You hear how no pleasing. Jamie. Hello. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Tacos. What you got for me?
So I noticed that, and I've only been watching your channel for a few months, but a lot of your advice is towards women who are looking for a high value man. But me personally, I married one.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really need is your advice in a situation where I feel like I'm a traditional woman. And I listened to the caller, I think it was last night, the woman who was a stay-at-home mom of 2 and how she kind of regretted that. But I feel like as a young traditional woman, I'm 27, when my husband asked me to work for him, he has 3 companies, I told him no because I had just been offered a really good government job.
Mm-hmm.
And now we've had an incident in our marriage to where he's seeking divorce. But I would like your advice for a traditional woman who is, and maybe this isn't the appropriate time or platform, but where I could maybe have a piece of advice moving forward and how to kind of reclaim my marriage and try and
Okay.
salvage that.
Okay. What you hit on the topic I'm gonna get onto next week is called reclamation. I'm starting to reclaim women like Stephanie and a bunch of other folks. We'll be reclaiming a bunch of y'all. All right. Incident in your marriage. Was that on your side or on his side?
At my side.
All right. He asked you to work for the businesses that he has that fund the family, and you said no.
Yes, he asked before we were married, and because I had just been offered a good job, I felt like
okay. So I'm just getting the landscape. So did you go take the government job?
I did.
All right. Are you still there?
I am.
All right. How are the businesses doing?
2 out of 3 are doing very well.
Would the third one have done better had you worked for it?
I'm not sure. I think there were a lot of issues when he purchased the company. Okay. And so,
just big picture. All right. So there was already I don't want to say a breach of trust, but there was already a desire for you to make your own kind of claim. You wanted to put your own stake out in the world, more or less, in the context of a relationship. That has a consequence. Now, whatever thing that happened, was it infidelity?
No.
All right. What I'm needing to try to understand is how serious of a breach for somebody to seek divorce without. You want to type it in the chat room?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay, because
1 moment.
Yeah, because if you're trying to basically win your spouse back, it depends on what we're trying to overcome.
It's a very valid point. And, usually infidelity is very high on that list, but it seems in this case it's not the issue. But just to reflect back a little bit, you have to understand when a man is at the top of his game and he's going out and he's providing for you and the family, and he then asks you, listen, you might want to come work for this business. Why? Because here you have some type of tyranny, some type of privilege, and you'll be able to do things at a more relaxed rate. Now, when a woman would turn around and tell this man, well, you know what, I'd rather go work for the government, you're basically saying to him, you rather go work for someone else. You rather be under the supervision of someone else. And with that is going to create some type of breakage. And how it is for most marriages, it's not really the one thing that, that breaks the camel's back. It's the 1,000 cuts, right? So this is just one thing. And then maybe he wasn't supported in another area, and that could be another thing. But the point I'm trying to make is with multiple cuts will eventually lead to the destruction of the foundation. Why wouldn't a woman want to work for their man, especially if he owns 3 different companies? The last thing on your mind should be, let me go work for another man. Let me go work for someone else that doesn't care about me. But let's go ahead and continue with this conversation because it's getting pretty good. She's supposed to mention the reason why they're getting a divorce now.
Let me see, Jamie. Let me get down to Jamie.
I'm typing now as well.
Okay. I'm looking for your name here. Yeah. All right. Type here. Here you go. Oh. All right. How long ago was that?
That was maybe 2 weeks ago.
And is that okay? And from that point, he said, "No mas."
No, and that's the hard part that I'm trying to wrap my head around is I feel like I've made efforts in our home aside from not being there, trying to be the best, wife that I could be and quote unquote traditional wife. Um, and we were working on things after that.
Uh-huh.
And so we ended up losing it, what I
Okay.
mentioned, the result of that.
All right. So if you asked him when he said he wants to file, what reason did he give you?
He was showing me a lot of efforts towards making it work, and his heart, I felt, was postured that he wanted to maintain our relationship, but he went home one weekend to Laredo, and his family was really against everything, and I felt like their emotions were very heightened, and so they convinced him that that was what was best. And so I'm torn because I don't think that he genuinely wants this divorce himself, but he's pressured.
Okay. Well, this is what happens when you bring family into stuff. But was it on grounds of irreconcilable differences? Is that what he's talking about? I mean, there's a reason he has to be wanting to walk, and
Right.
it can't just be what you just typed in there.
Well, that's why I'm so like flustered and confused
All right. Well,
because
what I would tell you, one of the first things, you keep saying traditional woman, but when a husband comes to a wife and says, "Hey, work for our legacy," and you say, "No, I'm going to go work for the government," that's a problem.
we weren't married.
Mm-mm. Wow. What do you guys think it is? Right? Because I'm speculating and I'm thinking right now, like, what could this possibly be? I'm going to assume some type of either some type of money issue. Maybe she hid some type of money, or she ran up some cards, or whatever the case may be. Or two, something dealing with a child. Like maybe she went to go get something removed from her without his consent. Maybe, right? Or maybe she went through an issue where she lost it. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comment section down below right now. I'm very curious to see what you guys pick up from this, because I know some of you guys are a lot wiser. So you'll be able to pick up like, nah, this is exactly what she's talking about. So yeah, go ahead and drop in the comment section down below. Let's continue.
Okay. Okay. I thought you said okay. You weren't married at
That,
the time. Okay.
right.
I'm confused. Um, have you guys been to counseling?
We have a therapist, yes, but
Have you been
we
to?
haven't. I
Okay.
haven't seen the therapist since the incident.
All right. Individual counseling is good, but also the things they'll call it's not divorce care. What is it? It's like Christian marriage counseling. Let me think of the name. I forgot what it is. Christian. Are you Christian or are you non-denominational?
Yes, and we have sought counsel in our church, but he's since left the church. I think because he's just very embarrassed and with the whole situation.
Well, it's not divorce care. Um, oh Jesus. Group marital counseling is often works wonders because when you and your spouse are in counseling, it's you, him, and the therapist, and often it gets to be untenable. But when you can actually hear other people's problems, you can start to really
Mhm.
compare and contrast how major your stuff is. Because I don't, you don't need to go that deep into it, but I do know one thing. I don't know if you or he wants to be single out here.
Mhm.
Uh, and oftentimes people get a divorce because families are pressuring, and a lot of experience with this one. Families are pressuring this and that, and then they regret it. Why? You know, I mean, I don't know. No, I'm trying to figure out. Remember what it was? Group Christian marital counseling, pre pre divorce counseling. Hold on, Christian pre divorce counseling. I don't remember what it was called, but we went to this pre divorce. Um, are you guys still living together?
Not as of last week, but after the incident, immediately we were.
Okay. Well, in your area there, look, whoever hosts divorce care in your area, there should be something before divorce care. Um, Basically, what I'm looking at is pre-divorce counseling, where they do it and it's usually done at church in the context of groups, because then, as a husband and wife, you can get to go be around other couples in flux, and it's not so tense. You're not always listening to you and him. And really, it's a good time to. It's also a good way to compare what's going on, because it may seem like a major deal with what you guys are listening to, but then you listen to what another couple is going through. You're like, you know what? Maybe we need to redouble our efforts, because you have how many children?
None.
You have no children.
Yeah.
Does he
We
have any
were just
children?
married. No, we were just married.
How long ago? How long have you been married?
We were married about a month.
No, you guys have been married for 1 month?
Yeah, we were together for 7 months before, or 6 months before, and we were married in the
All
sixth
right.
month.
Now, okay, I'm confused because I thought there were children involved. All right.
No.
All right. So let's back up. You've been married. You've been married about a month.
Mhm.
And
And we
you
got, I'll just mention it, we got pregnant right away. So that's why I said I was experiencing those hormones.
right. But does he have any children?
No,
How old is he?
28,
And how old are you?
27.
Yeah, he's young.
And he's a high earner too, so I'm just convinced that he can go and find like whoever he wants.
Well,
Oh, sure, he will. Let's not get this confused. He will. But this is wild. They haven't even been together for not even a year. And now, to be fair, Kevin typically does say it only takes 6 months to really know if you want to marry someone. In the grand scheme of things, he's actually correct, right? Because there's nothing really that's gonna come out in 10 years versus 6 months. So, man, this is just crazy. So they've only been together. They've only been married for a month, and he's what, 28 with 3 companies. She's just clinging on, right? At this moment, she's just clinging on. She knows that she has a high value man. She doesn't want to lose him. She's trying to figure it out. But it seems, so she just said that she had a baby before. She got pregnant before. I'm guessing she got rid of it without his knowledge. Maybe. I don't know. Where we at, guys? Let me know.
I mean, but that's possible, but that's not the real point. The bigger point is his family's involved in this, and you guys shouldn't be having this major problems a month into marriage. You guys need, if you're going to make a marriage work, you're going to have some sort of counseling without his family uh, involved, and to see if you guys even have enough to go the distance. Because it sounds to me though, as you guys got married under tense conditions, and you got a lot going on. A month married, I mean, hell, you may even be able to know that. I don't know. But if he doesn't want to stay, you're not going to be able to make him stay. That's really what it comes down to. And I hate to say it, but you got a month into a marriage. It's not a lot. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of confused at what you were saying. Yeah. Best you can do is, if you guys can get in to talk to a counselor and to see if you guys can put together a marital plan to try to get on the same page to make it work. But, if
Is there any advice that you might have towards having that conversation to convincing him that it's worth the counseling?
All you can do. Okay, why do you want to stay? If what you're telling is showing what happened, he wants to leave. That seems like a little thing to want to leave over.
Right.
And you're saying that, you guys have been together for 7 months and he wanted you to work for the businesses. You're telling me that a business failed inside of the 7 months? You got a job at the government inside. It's a lot of shit to go on for. How long y'all been together? Less than a year?
It didn't fail. It's just not as successful as
But you guys have been together less than a year.
Right.
That's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of stuff. I mean, You didn't want to go work for the business. It sounds as though y'all got rushed into a marriage because of your situation. And it doesn't really sound like y'all was on stable ground to begin with. You wanted to do what you wanted to do, and you did it. So all I can do is say you'd be good to try to go find group marital counseling ahead of time and ask him to go. But he's a grown man. He can decide to go or not. And he sounds like he's already made his decision to leave because it's involved his family already. So I wish you all the best, though.
I appreciate it.
Thanks. Yeah. It's hard. Yeah. All right, so we're going to get over to...
All right, guys, that's going to be the ending of the video. I want you guys to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Great conversation, very interesting. I really want to know what you guys think. All right, so go ahead and let me know. Make sure you guys turn on post notifications if you guys haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.